Okay, I'm going to go through tasks 25 and 26, which is a recap of everything we have done so far. So the first couple of questions are all about trigonometry. So trigonometry is used when we've got a right angle triangle, we've got two lengths and a side. With our first one, the first thing you want to do is write down SOHCAHTOA. So we've got SOHCAHTOA. We've got two sides involved, so label those two sides. So the 9 is going to be your hypotenuse. You've got your hypotenuse. Cross off the one that you have. The one we're trying to find is opposite your angle, so it's going to be your opposite, so cross off all the opposites. The one I've crossed 2 off in is so the ratio is sine of your angle of x, or theta, or wherever you're calling your angle, is O over h, because it goes so O first, then over h. So if you fill in what you've got now, we've got sine of the angle x, which is 55, is O, which we don't have, so I'm going to leave that as O, over h, which is 9. So the thing I'm trying to find is at the top, so you want to multiply those other two things. So we're going to do 9 multiplied by sine of 55. Put that in brackets on your calculator. Don't forget to give us your opposite, and you should get 7.4 centimeters for your opposite length. Next one, again, if we write SOHCAHTOA at the top, then I'm trying to find an angle this time, but I've still got two sides. So I've got that 8 as your hypotenuse. So you can cross off your hypotenuse. You've got the angle, the side next to it, which is your adjacent. So if you cross off all your A's, the thing I've crossed 2 off on is your CAH. So your ratio cos of your angle x is A over h, because it's CAH. So label the things you have. I don't have the angle this time, so x is going to stay as that angle. But I do have my adjacent, which is 5, and I've got my hypotenuse, which is 8. To find an angle, you need to shift. So you need to press shift cos. It comes up to shift to -1 on your calculator of whatever 5 or 8 has. I normally keep that in a fraction. And if you put all that in your calculator, you get 51.3 degrees. Next one, again, if I write SOHCAHTOA, you don't have to write this every single time as soon as you get used to it. But our question mark here is our hypotenuse. So we can cross off our hypotenuse. The 9 is opposite your angle, so we've got opposite, so we've got so we know it's going to be so we know sine of the angle x is O over h, because O comes first and then over h. So sine of the angle 55 is going to be your opposite, which we have this time, is 9 over your hypotenuse, which is we don't have. The thing we're trying to find is on the bottom, so we're going to divide. So we're going to do 9 divided by sine of 55. Don't forget to put that in brackets on your calculator to give us our hypotenuse, which should be 10.99. If you round that to 11, that's fine. Our next question, so we're going to reflect the triangle A in the line y equals -2. So the line y equals -2 is where you cut your y-axis, so your y-axis, at -2. So it does go horizontally across, but it needs to cut your y-axis at -2. So we're going to take this triangle. This point is only 1 away from the line, so it's going to be here, 1 away from the line. This point is 1, 2, 3 away from the line, so it needs to be 1, 2, 3 away from the line, so that's going to be up there. This point over here, I know it's in the middle, I'm going to put it in the middle, but we got 1, 2, 3 away, so 1, 2, 3 away, so that's going to be there. So we reflected that triangle in the line y equals -2. For task 26, first of all, we're going to expand a bracket. So this is FOIL, so we need to do our first one. So we do 5x times 4x, that's 20x squared. Then we do 5x times -2, that's -10x. Then we do -4 times 4x, that's -16x. And we do -4 times -2, which is +8. Positive 8. Then we can only simplify these middle ones. So we've got 20x squared. We're going to -26x. And we're going to add 8. Next, so that's it. That's the answer. So next one, we've got Jed and Fred share £350 in the ratio of 3 to 5. How much do they each receive? So if Jed is getting 3 parts and Fred is getting 5 parts, it's a total of 8 parts. So if we share the £350 in those 8 parts, I think we get a decimal. We get £43.75 is 1 part, so we might need to calculate for that one. Jed gets 3 parts, so if 1 part is £43.75, 3 parts of that is going to be £131.25. And Fred wants 5 parts. Well, if one part is 43.75, 5 parts, we want 5 lots of that, which is 218.75. So our ratio of money is Jed gets 131.25 and Fred gets 218.75. They should add up to 350, which they do. Okay, next one. A bath holds 80. Bath holds 80 litres to the nearest 10 litres. We want the lower and upper bounds. So to do our lower and upper bounds, we take wherever we're rounding to. So in this case, 10 litres. We half it, so we got 5 litres. For our lower bound, we're going to subtract it. So we do 80, take away 5 to get 75 litres. And our upper bound, we're going to add it on. So we've got 85 litres. So that bath could hold anywhere between 75 and 85 litres. Calculate in standard form, so we're dividing. So when we're dividing, you want to divide your two numbers. So we're going to do 1.5 divided by 2. So 1.5 divided by 2 is 0.75. Then we're going to divide our powers. So we're going to do 10 to the power of minus 8 divided by 10 to the power of 4. So when we're dividing, we're going to subtract our powers. So we've got minus 8 minus another 4. That's going to be minus 12. So our answer is going to be 0.75 times 10 to the power of minus 12. However, we can't have 0.75. We've got to change that. We've got to move our number to the left. It's got to be 7.5 times 10 to the power of. Now, when we're moving our number to the left, we need to subtract 1 from the powers. So we got minus 12. Take away another 1. Give us minus 13. It's very careful. It's negative. Okay, I'm going to do my 27 to the power of minus 1/3 next. So when we've got anything to the power of a minus, we can flip it. And we put it 1 over whatever the power is. So we've got 27 to the power of a third. Anything to the power of a third, so we actually have to work this bottom bit out now, is the cube root of it. So we've got the cube root of 27, and the cube root of 27 is 3. So our answer is 1/3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. I'm going to do the one underneath now. So we've got to state the interior angle of a regular nonagon. A nonagon has 9 sides. Now you can do this a number of different ways. You could work out the sum of the angles by doing 180 times 9 minus 2, which is 180 times 7, and then divide it by 9. Or a quicker way, we could do, if we find the exterior angle, if we do 360 divided by the number of sides, which is 40, that is the exterior angle. Interior and exterior angles add up to 180, so all we need to do is 180 take away 40, which is 140, to get our interior angle. It would have worked the same if you did it the other way though. Next question, we've got a bit of trig again. So if I write Katoa, we've got the, oh hang on, what the hell am I trying to find here? Okay, let's pretend we don't have 15 and we're trying to find this length over here. I'm assuming this is what we have to do anyway. Right. We've got our, I've written Katoa, now I've confused myself now. What am I doing? We're finding this length. So we've got, this is our opposite, this is our adjacent. So we've got O and A. So you're going to cross off what you have. So I'm going to cross off my O's, and then you're going to cross off your A's. So I'm going to cross off my A's. So we can see here we've got TOA. So we know tan of the angle X is O over A. Now if we substitute in, we've got tan of the angle 54 is going to be O, which we don't have, over A, which is 10. So the thing we're trying to find is up top, so we're going to times. So we're going to do 10 times tan of 54 to give us our opposite length. And let me just grab my calculator because I haven't worked this one out. So we got 54, tan of 54, and I'm going to times that by 10, and I got 13.8 centimetres for my opposite.